The government has set a goal of achieving carbon neutrality by 2050. With buildings accounting for about 90% of Hong Kong's total electricity consumption and over 50% of our carbon emissions being attributed to electricity generation for our buildings, the implementation of green construction is crucial if we're going to reach this goal.
To promote green building practices and carbon footprint reduction in indoor environments, the industry has created a set of standards to evaluate the sustainability of buildings. Today, we've invited Mr. Lee Ho-Kin and Mr. Ho Chi-shing, Chairperson and General Manager of BIM Society Limited, to tell us more. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you guys. Now, Mr. Lee, I understand that your organization is dedicated to the assessment of building sustainability. So could you begin by giving us an overview of BSL's work in this area?
Certainly. We are BIM Society Limited. In short, we just call BSL. We are an independent, self-financed, non-profit public body. Our vision is to promote a sustainable community. Our work includes development and owning the BIM Plus rating system. Our assessment includes the entire life cycle of the project, which starts from planning, design, construction, and then commissioning, fitting out, and management and maintenance. Other than that, we also provide education for people who are interested in becoming green professionals and learn more about the green building technology.
Wow, that's a very diverse and elaborate work scope, and it's almost 20 years that you guys have been doing a very great job. Now, HK, could you elaborate on the concept of indoor environmental quality assessment?
We started by establishing a rating tool for new building and then existing building. But then we want to expand and think that there's more to cover. So we expand in two directions. One is become a wider scope, which we developed a neighborhood for a rating system, which includes spaces between buildings, outdoor spaces, and so on. And on the other hand, we also go into the smallest unit of a built environment, which is interior. We understand that interior spaces are people work and live and do other things that they enjoy. So it's important that we start from there. So about 10 years ago, we launched the first version of BIM Interior, simply called BI. And it covers like fitting out, renovation, or major alteration works. Last year, we have launched a second version, which is an upgraded and improved version, which incorporate the latest government standards and also the industry best practices.
Now, thank you, HK, for your elaboration. CS, can you also give us some specific details of BIM Plus BI version 2.0?
The BIM Plus BI Interior 2.0 is a comprehensive and multidimensional tool. So may I draw an analogy? For example, if you are concerned about your health, so you go to see the medical doctor to measure your health. So he will not just measure one single parameter, like, for example, blood pressure and so on. He will try to have some sort of what we call holistic sort of appraisal of your health. So likewise for our tool actually is very comprehensive. So for example, for this studio, they will measure, number one is what is the energy consumption, whether there is any measure to save the energy, and also measure about the water utilization, whether you take measure to save water, and then we talk about the air quality, and also even talk about the lighting, the human comfort, and so on. So in simple terms, it is a holistic and comprehensive tool to appraise the different aspects of the interior.
So it's almost like a full body assessment. Now, what types of premises is BIM Plus BI version 2.0 applicable to, and how can interested parties apply for evaluation?
So there are two-part questions. The first one is about, say, the building type or the built environment that the tool is applicable. Then I would say the majority of the interior premises, spaces are covered. For example, shopping center, food hall, institutional building, school, residential building, offices, and so on. All sorts of things are actually covered by our tool. And as regarding the procedure is quite simple. So the applicant, if they're interested, simply they approach the sister company of ours, which is called the Hong Kong Green Building Council. So they go there to do the registration and then pay a certain amount of fee, and that's it. And afterward, the whole thing will pass to the BIM Society for us to actually do the appraisal. So what the applicant need to do, again, is very simple. They actually submit some sort of submittal. The submittal is already predefined. We define what kind of information we're after. For example, when you want to claim energy mirrors, so they give us some sort of electricity bill to prove that what you have done to save the electricity and also save water and so on. So all the paperwork will be appraised by ourselves and also by what we call the independent assessor, which are engaged from the industry. And finally, the whole thing will be appraised by a cross-sectional sort of panel, which represent the entire building industry. You have the architects, engineers, surveyors, and so on, and then you get the rating. And of course, there are different sort of rating. The highest one is platinum, and the next one is gold, and so on.
So, I mean, as far as I understand, many buildings are already constructed. So these assessments are kind of not mandatory, but it can be a voluntary process. So I would like to know, HK, what are the benefits of actually implementing these green building assessment programs?
We can look at it at 3 different levels. From the macro level, we all hear about climate change, global warming, seawater rising, and so on and so forth. Hong Kong, although it's a small city, we only have 7 million people, but we still should do our best to join this force of combating climate change. From the micro level, coming back to talk about our buildings, our own interiors, we also should look at green and sustainable design because as a whole, it would improve people's health, safety, and well-being, and also the so-called happiness index, which is very popular these days. On the 3rd level, the cost of running a premises, a property, would be greatly reduced because you save in energy, you save in garbage removal, you release less air pollution, water pollution, and so on. And also in the long run, it will probably elevate the value of your property. So it's all worth doing.
Wow, there's tons of benefits to that. And as you said, it's important to have a longer vision to see into the future.
Well, that's great to know. Now, sustainable development has become an indicator in the construction industry in recent years, and some banks have even launched green mortgages. Now, only properties with green building certification are eligible for these products. Could you tell us a bit about that?
We are very happy to know that financial institutions, especially banks, are providing green mortgage services. Some are in a form of cash rebate and so on. The importance of providing all these services is tied to a certain condition, which is the BIM Plus certification. So we are very happy to see that. It would really improve the entire community in terms of improving the green and sustainable design.
The results from the assessments actually practically affect the development of the entire construction project.
Now, CS, I would like to know, were there any references that you can draw on for the development of BIM Plus BI version 2.0, and how have the results or response been so far?
Okay. We have been using the green building tool to assess for many years. So we actually look at the past. What are the feedback? So we got, and also what the experience. And then at the same time, we make reference to the international sort of tool. So we try to put all the tools available internationally on the table, and they will compare term by term, course by course, and try to find out the best practice and also the best standard, which is most suitable to Hong Kong, and then form the tool. So therefore, to conclude, yes, we do make reference to a lot of things, including international standard and our own application experience.
Mm-hmm. So I would assume the response has been quite favorable,
yes.
I would say. Now, HK, can you tell us what's the overall outlook of the green building assessment industry in Hong Kong right now?
We have a very strong recognition and support from the Hong Kong SAR government, and also from a lot of very dedicated construction professionals. And we are seeing an increase in the number of projects coming in for certification. By January this year, 2024, we have a total of 2,550 projects coming in for certification, and about 2,400 has completed their assessment. It's a very encouraging numbers, and we are seeing a lot more are coming in. And furthermore, we don't just stop with the 7 assessment tools we have. We are developing further on. We hope we can extend our service into like the Greater Bay Area or even further beyond that. Hopefully we can bring our message to a lot more people, and more will come and join the fight against climate change.
Thank you, HK, and
You're
thank
welcome.
you, CS,
Thank you very
for
much.
giving us a glimpse into this world of sustainable building assessment. And we also look forward to seeing Hong Kong become a greener city with your efforts.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.